Okay, question 16 then. 16a. We're going to make t the subject, so we've got to get t on the same side first of all. So let's times out the bracket. So 2 times that and 2 times that. We then look at our smaller t, which is 2t, and take it over onto 5t. So I then get 2a, take away 2t on both sides there, will give us 3t plus 7. Take your 7 over, so we'll then get 2a minus 7 equals 3t. Then divide through by 3, we'll then get t is equal to 2a minus 7 all divided by 3. Part B, solve these simultaneous equations. So what I'm going to do is times the top one by 3, because then I will make 9x. So I then get 9x minus 12y equals 24, and then write the other equation again underneath. Then I'm going to take one off the other. So I'm going to take this bottom one, the top one off the bottom one. So that is nothing. That minus that means we plus 12 on. And that minus that will give me minus 25.5. So then I divide, the way I do this is 25.5 divided by 17. And because there's one minus then, another minus then will be overall in the answer. So we get minus 1.5. And I'll then place that into maybe the second equation. So in 2, so I get 9x plus 5 lots of minus 1.5 equal minus 1.5. So times this out, we get 9x minus 7.5 equal minus 1.5. So then 9x add 7.5 on to this, which will give us 6. So x then will be 2/3. There are two values. Question 17. We're given the fact that the two solid constants are similar. Base of A is this and base of B is this. Ali uses 80 millimeters of paint to paint coat A. So 80 mils for A. How much paint will he need? How much paint in millimeters will he need for painting B? Now some of you may think, just times it by 2. No, you can't. The linear scale factor, we call it, or the scale factor that connects the lengths, so that linear scale factor is just going to be 160 divided by 80. Now because dimensions, you then become two-dimensional because you're talking about area, then both dimensions double. So because it's 2 there, so the area scale factor will be squared, so it gets 4 times as big. So then we do 4 times by 80 mils, and that will give us 320 millilitres. Part B, the volume of cone A is 171,700 centimetres cubed. What's the volume of cone B? Well, how on earth do we do that? Well, we've got the area scale factor is 2 squared. The volume scale factor means all 3 dimensions have got twice as big, so it's 2 cubed, which is 8. So we times 171,700 times by 8, which will then give us 1,373,600 centimetres cubed. And then we have our final question. We've got a quad, we're going to work out DC eventually. Give your answer to 3 significant figures. So what are we going to do there then? Well, what we need to do is understand that this is a 2-step triangle problem. Our first triangle is what we call an SAS triangle. We've got 2 sides and the included angle. That'll mean we'll use the cosine rule. So the cosine rule states that a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. It's on the formula sheet at the front. So it's the two sides. So it's 8.2 squared plus 5.6 squared minus two lots, no matter where you put the 8.2 the 5.6 in which order, two lots of 8.2 5.6 cos A, the big angle, which is 78. That goes into your calculator. So just pausing for a second just to get that put in the calculator. Cos of 78, sorry. That'll then give you 79.5, etc. Now some people go, well, how can that be 79.5? Because they forget it's a squared. Very common error there. So A, you've got to square root that number. So square rooting, you can press answer, so that'll bring back what it had before. That's then 8.9, 8.91 or 8.92, and that's centimetres. So if we've got now 8.92 centimetres there, we now have an angle in its opposite side. So if we've got an angle in its opposite side, then we use the sine rule. I want to find here x, so we're going to put x over the sine of the opposite angle there, which is 40, and that's equal to 8.92 all divided by the sine of 80. Bring sine 40 up. So that then goes into a calculator. And just remember, please, that you've got to have a little d at the top. If you don't, you have to change your mode to make sure it says degrees, little d. And that will then give us, it wants it to three significant figures, 5.82 centimetres.